What's up, guys? I've got a lot of feedback over the last few videos asking for a non-biased, real look for a side-by-side comparison of Michael Jordan and LeBron's skills more so than their resumes. So let's get right into the narratives. Most people agree and the stats bear out that Michael Jordan was the far better mid-range shooter, with LeBron being a slightly better rebounder. But here's the first accepted narrative we can test: that LeBron James is a far better passer than Michael Jordan. Well, this is one of our toughest challenges. Even legendary LeBron hater Skip Bayless would say LeBron is a better passer. Now, the first thing is the definition of a better passer. Now, most people would say the best passer is an assist leader. I would say Jokic is the best passer in the league currently based on film. Let's look at the assist leaders this year. There's two types of assist accumulators. The first are getting the majority of their assists through outstanding penetration skills, meaning dumping off for dunks or kicking out to shooters when doubled. Jazz speedster Isaiah Collier is the poster boy for this. The second is a more floor general type vision, running pick and roll, recognizing mismatches, outletting on the fast break, guys like Steve Nash. Let's go down this list. Jokic on film, outstanding passer in all facets. Cade Cunningham, primarily off penetration and pick and roll. Luka, primarily out of double teams. James Harden, primarily a floor general style type in his older years. Jalen Johnson, the most underrated passer here, similar to Jokic, just an outstanding passer in all aspects. As I covered in this video, the Hawks really took off once they committed to playing through Johnson and didn't have Young as a traffic cone on defense anymore. Stephon Castle, mainly great penetrator and throwing lobs to his extremely tall center, and then you have LeBron James. If you watch the film on LeBron this year, he is still a great passer, but he has shifted slightly from being perhaps the best drive and kick passer we've ever seen to a slightly new style. Every LeBron team he was on, he immediately pushed the GM to trade any young players they had for veteran shooters like Kyle Korver and Mike Miller. But now he has the classic UNC at 24-hour fitness style, throwing outlets, throwing lobs off cherry picks, and hitting cutters. To our beloved LeBron haters, even you guys can't deny he's still a great passer at times. Now, for your definition of a great passer. Is the point of an assist to get the assist stat, or pure offense creation? Jokic and prime Steve Nash to me are the two greatest non-scorer offense creators in league history, meaning if there's no play being run, nobody is open, they will still get you a great look. I would value this over outstanding penetration passing. The reason is 2 points is 2 points, but in the playoffs, especially the finals, if penetration is your only game, teams will build a wall and the penetration points die off. We saw this happen to Jalen Duren this playoffs. Cade had to be more of a perimeter scorer, and Duren was lost without Cade's penetration. What was Michael Jordan's passing style? Well, the first 3 years of his career, he was predominantly a penetration passer as well, but more of the dump-off variety. But in 88-89, the Bulls struggled to find an elite point guard with John Paxson and Sam Vincent splitting time. So, after some injuries around Christmas time, the Bulls asked Michael Jordan to playmake more. Doug Collins then moved him to point guard full-time and to experiment in March. From March 11, his first game as a full-time point guard where he got 15 assists, to the end of the season, Michael Jordan averaged 29.7 points, 9.2 rebounds, and 10.7 assists, all while averaging 2.9 steals per game while having 12 games of 5+ steals. He had a streak of 10 triple-doubles in 11 games and 15 triple-doubles overall in just that month and a half. People completely forget that Michael Jordan was the best player in the league from his third year on. They only really start paying attention in 91. Now clearly, Michael Jordan and LeBron were both elite penetration passers. LeBron clearly liked to pass more, whereas Michael Jordan famously said in The Last Dance, having the ball in Bill Cartwright's hands at the end of the game instead of his was BS. I would give the edge in creativity towards Michael Jordan, but LeBron passed more and had more consistent passing seasons. For their career, Jordan averaged 5.3 assists and LeBron averaged 7.4. I'll give a slight edge to LeBron for this reason, but I'm telling you on film, Michael Jordan was a more creative passer. Now, to three-point shooting. The accepted narrative I always hear on debate shows is that LeBron is a better three-point shooter. Now on the surface, this narrative defies logic. MJ is the far superior mid-range shooter by every statistical metric. MJ averaged around 50% once it was tracked from 96 to 98 when the league average was around 40. LeBron averaged in the low 40s in his career, but has certainly improved over time. In LeBron's first two finals, San Antonio and Dallas famously forced him to shoot from outside the paint to disastrous effect. Michael Jordan was also a career 83% free throw shooter, whereas LeBron has historically been a 74% free throw shooter, sometimes even shooting in the 60s. But in three-point shooting, MJ shot just below 33% for his career, whereas LeBron is just below 35%. But the film shows MJ with a beautiful stroke and multiple games on film hitting huge three-pointers in the playoffs. LeBron's stroke has a small hitch and doesn't really look fluid at all. So what gives with the difference in percentages? Well, let's look at the film. While the data isn't the most clear, especially from early on in MJ's career, since the NBA started tracking defender distance in 2013, LeBron has shot around 45% of his three-pointers wide open. He also has shot a huge volume of them compared to Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan has been on record stating that he specifically avoided shooting catch-and-shoot threes, which are, of course, statistically the easiest to make, because he wanted to keep his mindset aggressive.
Well, this past Wednesday night, in Game 1, Michael Jordan put on a three-point shooting exhibition and a stunning performance, but taking too many threes can hurt his overall performance, according to Michael.
My three-point shooting is something that I don't want to excel at because it takes away from all phases of my game. My game is a fake drive to the hole, penetrate, dish off, dunk, or whatever. And when you have that mentality, as I found out in the first game, of making threes, you don't go to the hole as much. You go to the three-point line and you start sitting there waiting for someone to find you. And that's not my mentality. And I don't want to create that because it takes away from my other parts of my game.
Now here's the reality. I want you to pay close attention to this. MJ had 10 of his 15 seasons attempting under 1.5 threes a game. LeBron's lowest attempt season was 2.4, but he has averaged 4.7 attempts for his career. Now let's look at MJ's 5 highest attempt seasons. He shot 37%, 42%, 37%, 35%, and 50%. Now let's look at his 5 lowest, which again were mostly shot clock bailouts or half-court attempts. Obviously not very good. But again, on film, these are not wide-open catch-and-shoot threes. They are Kobe-style bailout shots. Now let's look at LeBron's 5 most attempted seasons. 36%, 32%, 35%, 36%, and 34%. Now let's put them side by side. By the film, it was MJ. Statistically, slight edge to LeBron, but again, when MJ was not shooting buzzer-beating fadeaways, he was the better three-point shooter. Now the last factor we'll cover is defense, which I feel is the most forgot about factor in this debate between the two players. Now accolades, MJ has the slight edge, but this video is about more film study than accolades. Now MJ was an outstanding on-ball defender throughout his Bulls career, dipping of course on the Wizards. LeBron was also an elite on-ball defender when he wanted to be, able to guard multiple positions, famously shutting down D-Rose in the playoffs. While MJ would save his best defense for when somebody pissed him off, which was all 82 games, LeBron would mostly save his elite defense for the playoffs. But now let's look at the film where the real difference between them becomes apparent. LeBron James on the Miami Heat was a very good help defender in the playoffs. Whereas his help defense relied on his size and speed, MJ was far and away the best help defending guard in the NBA for all 13 of his seasons with the Bulls, utilizing ambush-style steals and blocks. On film, I'm giving the slight edge to MJ. While LeBron's block on Iguodala gets more press now, MJ's steal on Karl Malone shows the true epitome of elite defensive play, savvy film study, and awareness under pressure. Alright guys, so I think we can both agree that in their primes, they were great on-ball defenders. I would argue LeBron coasts a lot on defense, whereas MJ never coasted a single possession. But again, most LeBron fans have never watched Jordan full games, so let's move past that. But here's a clip. Jordan and LeBron both have gambled for steals, but of course, they also have their fair share of turnovers with their high usage. But I want to show you guys how they both have handled this. Let's break down this clip from LeBron first. I think this clip really illustrates the mentality he's had while he's been on the Lakers. He and Ayton are in a pick and roll defense. LeBron doesn't really feel like fighting hard to take a hard angle around this screen. So he goes for a half-assed steal attempt. Ayton is left on an island essentially guarding 2 people. What is LeBron doing? Praying for a miss and starting the cherry pick while doing his patented jersey hand wipe. Look at the 20 plus feet from LeBron to Nurkic at the time that he shoots it. And look at the dejection from Aiden as it goes in. He knows JJ Redick will blame him in film study. And again, I know some of you are going to say, this is old LeBron. Why should he be chasing around screens at his age? Well, I would argue the better question is, if you can't still chase around screens, why are you still playing? As Kawhi famously once said to Tyronn Lue,
one of the coaches hit him with the, Kawhi, you got to switch that. Kawhi answered, why? Because we don't want this person on that person. He goes, so why is he in the game? Rex go, got a point. If he can't guard, why is he in the game? Straight up. K. Cole, shout out to K.
Now let's look at a clip from MJ. This is when he is 35 years old. Nick Anderson famously stole the ball from MJ in his baseball comeback year in the playoffs. So I'm sure MJ was taking this personal. But look as he navigates the traffic, baits the pass, and accelerates to steal it. At the end, Anderson looks like he was more tired than MJ. Now let's go to another play from LeBron. LeBron probably gets hit here, but also smokes the layup a bit. He stops to complain. Okay, we've seen MJ complain a bit a few times too, but let's count how long it takes LeBron to get back here. Shot is missed, still no LeBron, and here he comes, 13 seconds after missing the shot. And he's still walking. And again, this is not an isolated clip. If you're watching the Lakers, this is what he does 5 to 6 times a game, hoping for an outlet if that first shot misses. Now let's look at maybe my favorite clip all time from MJ that is a perfect reflection of his career. Against his favorite quote-unquote Jordan stoppers, Xavier McDaniels and John Starks on the Knicks. This is Game 7 in the 92 playoffs. He hits this beautiful cross to split the double, then reads the Knicks are going to outlet it and steals it. He tries the same move again and gets stripped by McDaniels. Now I'm going to pause it right here. He had a decision to go or stay. What do you guys think he did? If you've watched MJ film, yeah, you guessed right. What a play. Jordan scored 42 points this game to lead a 29-point blowout after this play. Okay, you guys are going to say, this was young Michael Jordan, he was still only 29. Okay then, let's pull up a Wizards clip at age 39. MJ goes up for the fadeaway, and in his mind, he's fouled on the wrist. He glares at the ref, but he doesn't say anything and angrily begins stalking his Bulls replacement, Ron Mercer. What a play. Here's the top comments from the last 2 videos. If you guys start to really watch film, the truth shall be revealed. Now finally, let's talk about help defense. As a coach, the first most simple concept of help defense is stunt and recover. Once you get to a level like the NBA, everyone can blow by everyone. If teams try to play a possession without screens, it's almost impossible to score inside against elite stunt and recover defenses. Players like John Morant and Derrick Rose are prime examples of guys with ridiculous first step quickness. That gets exposed once you go against top 5 teams in the playoffs because they stunt and recover so well, your blow by driving lanes start to dry up. I'll show you guys a clip briefly to illustrate what great stunt and recover defenses look like. Here's a basic stunt and recover after a long defensive possession. D'Angelo Russell actually helps the Nuggets a bit by being too far and not being a threat to shoot, thereby allowing Murray to stunt far enough to dissuade Gabe Vincent from driving. Here's some more clips of Baylor doing it with an emphasis on denying the middle of the floor. The key to it is scouting report and distance. As a defender, you know how quick your man's shot release is, so you calculate the exact distance you can be away from him to stunt where you could recover in time to contest if he receives the pass. Knowing this, you can see why people with slow releases and/or poor shooting are so unplayable in the playoffs, giving that extra foot for defenders to help against elite players like SGA and Luka. Another reason why I believe Draymond Green is not a Hall of Famer despite his claims otherwise. He is helped off and stunted off so often in the playoffs. Now, stunt and recover is the primary defensive responsibility of large wings like LeBron in the modern NBA, whereas in MJ's era, his role was more on-ball defense of the floor general type point guards and chasing shooting guards like Reggie Miller around screens. Here's 3 clips with LeBron and his stunt and recover defense. Let's pause it here. Keontae George is pushing after a rebound, and the general rule is the first defender back sets who's guarding who. Rui looks over at LeBron, who for some reason has his head turned and is face guarding Lauri Markkanen. Confused who to choose, Rui decides to play no man's land and hopes Reeves can sprint back and guard Ace Bailey in the corner. Once this is established, it will be LeBron's responsibility to stunt and recover on Keontae so Rui doesn't have to stop an extremely quick guard with a head of steam, 1v1, and LeBron will sprint and rotate to Lauri if LeBron has to stunt too far. Ace Bailey and LeBron's lack of awareness, instead of going to the corner for the 3, Bailey sprints in to make Rui have to choose who to guard. LeBron finally turns around, but it's too late. Keontae freezes Rui, and Reeves can't get back, and Ace Bailey finishes the lob. This next play, Isaiah Collier, who we mentioned earlier is the top assist per 48 minutes player in the NBA based off his quickness, is guarded by Austin Reeves. Collier quickly sees LeBron is glued to Filipowski in the corner, and he rejects the screen to attack that space. Reeves assumes that between LeBron stunting and Ayton hedging, there will be nowhere for Collier to drive. But Ayton is hesitant to fully switch because Reeves appears committed to a hedge. So LeBron is the man to stop it. But instead, he doesn't even try, and Collier gets an and one. LeBron, of course, puts his hands on his hips, implying he's tired of his teammates getting blown by. Not sure why there seems to be a train to the basket on his side of the court. This possession isn't a stunt and recover, but again, if you watch film of the Lakers the last 3 years, this is what you'll see. A confused Jazz possession going nowhere, they try to get a simple handoff. LeBron lazily assumes that Taylor Hendricks will go around the screen, but Hendricks sees LeBron dropping off for no reason, and decides to shoot it on LeBron's side so Hayes can't get there. Then he turns to Hayes after the play and tells Hayes to get closer. Just crazy work. I hope you guys are able to watch this film study and draw your own conclusions. Again, some of you in the comments may say, you're cherry picking clips, or another popular refrain, the 90s was a less talented era. Sure, but go watch film for yourself. If you just pick a random MJ game from 1998 and a random LeBron game from 2022, you'll see the truth for yourself. But for the eras, and I'm going to make a future video on this, yes, if you fed people better food, gave them more gym access, gave them AC, better hydration, better equipment, yes, people are going to be better. But it's excellence in relation to your era that stands out. MJ is scoring 35 when his team was scoring 95, and LeBron is scoring 27 when his team is scoring 110. If you put MJ's work ethic, skill, and mentality with the resources he have today, you think he wouldn't be even better? Guys, the point of this video is once again a theme on this channel. Don't accept lazy narratives from talking heads who briefly look at stat charts. Go watch the film, look deeper, and get to the truth. Y'all are legends, thank you so much for watching. Please, if you guys could, sign up as a member. I'm making it a goal to get to 20 members by September 1st. It's a long shot, but maybe we can do it. Thank you guys for all the support so far. Much love. Peace.
I just don't think defensively is where, that's the separation to me, is where defensively, we used to run, I don't know if y'all did this, we used to run plays, right? We go, okay, our coach, Rudy T, be writing on the board, he's like, okay, we're gonna run 5. But if Michael's on the right side, we're gonna run it on the left. It's like, all right, say it one time, right? You think it's a joke. So in my mind, I know Michael as Mike, so I'm still listening as he's still my boy, kind of. And he goes, okay, and we're gonna run 21, but if Michael's on the left side, we're gonna run, and he goes down each play and say where Michael was, and we're gonna run it on a different side. That's the impact defensively he had. Did they do that? I don't know if
Absolutely.
that's the part that even when I talk to coaches, they don't say that he has that impact. LeBron has the same effect on that offensive end that Michael has, because it's passing, rebounding. But on the defensive end, that's the caveat that separates it.